Hello, everybody. Welcome to the TrailheaDX session. My name is Andy again. I forgot to mention I'm heading up Salesforce Saturday here locally. So if you're trying to build your skills for a certification, or if you're looking for a job, this is the place you want to join. We have a Trailblazer group, and you can join that Trailblazer group. I try to connect people with also opportunities whenever they are present. This is my headshot before the pandemic. So before I started supporting this big beard and the 10 plus pounds that I've gained. So, I guess I need to change that, as Mike already pointed out. And now let's go through the main show highlights. What I'm going to do for you is I'm going to mention very briefly the main show highlights, the keynote, and also I'm going to do the admin session. There have been I think there are about 10 admin sessions, and I've down selected 5 of them. I will give you some information about the topics mentioned in the presentations, and I'll show you also a short live demo on 2 of them. Now, as you know, equality is one of the core values for Salesforce. Salesforce is highly encouraging partners and the ecosystem to emphasize and to support equality at the workplace. And there is actually a Trailhead module that's done very well. I just completed it, and I'll share the link with you in the chat window once I'm done. It is talking about how we can be an ally, and we can ask, listen, show up, and speak up. And the impact is important, not the intent. And it's also talking to the point of unconscious bias. Unconscious bias is something that we all do. We don't realize we have it, but it's important that we build awareness towards it. Now, another underlying message for the TrailheaDX was the Salesforce Customer 360 platform. As you know, Salesforce announced this platform some time ago. And this is the single source of truth for your customer that includes the service, marketing, commerce, and the whole view that you're capturing about the customer on the Salesforce platform. There is actually a Lightning Web Component also you can use on your Lightning pages. I would highly encourage for you to look into this if you haven't already. And again, another message on the Salesforce platform is that the platform is built on building blocks. It's consisting of different systems that are working very well together, but at the same time, you pick and choose which ones you want to work with. A good example is the work.com platform that was not on the radar at all, but with the pandemic hitting, Salesforce quickly assembled several functionalities to work together to provide the work.com platform for the pandemic period. And another new platform that's in beta right now, Salesforce Anywhere. Salesforce Anywhere is providing the functionality for all the Salesforce users to sell, service, market from anywhere, collaborate from anywhere, work from anywhere, data from anywhere, and skill up from anywhere. And the components underneath the platforms that are being used is Amazon Web Services for the voice. And I think they are using, they are planning to use Zoom for video, but I'm not exactly sure on that one. So it's actually a platform that's built on several functionalities, including Quip, where you can chat with your coworkers and also communicate with them using voice and video if you've configured all of that. Now, this is a beta program, so you would have to sign up for it. There's a web page for it. You can sign up for your own instance to be included. I started using it. One thing that I've noticed, which is very interesting, is it seems like everybody seems to get a unique ID attached to their email that they signed up to Salesforce with. So you're able to communicate with also other users from other Salesforce instances. That's what it looks like to me. I haven't tested it to the full extent yet, but it's definitely very interesting. and it extends the Salesforce platform very well. And as part of the keynote, there were three success stories and the client cases: Sunbasket, Encino, and Trailhead Go and Trailhead Go for iOS announcement. Now, Sunbasket is a meal delivery client, and if you're interested in the success story, how they are using the Salesforce platform, including all the, various functionalities available on the platform, I would highly encourage for you to watch the keynote for it. And Encino, as you know, is a bank operating system built on the Salesforce platform that just went and IPO'd. It's a huge success story, and that was also part of the story on TrailheaDX. They were mentioned several times. And as you know now, the Trailhead system is available for you to use on your mobile, on iOS, and as far as I know, the Android version is coming. Now, a couple of technical announcements really quick, because we have also a complete section on developers. Now, there is the announcement of DevOps Center. This is for your CI and delivery platform for the developers to use. It's in pilot. It's been announced. And the code builder is going completely to the cloud. We used to use VS Code installed on our own PCs. Now we're not going to have to do that. Microsoft is in the background delivering the functionality, and this is going to be a browser-based tool. And I think we have more detail coming in our session today. And there is the functions closed dev preview that was announced also on TrailheaDX. Now let's go quickly into admin sessions. Now, I picked 5 admin sessions for us to go over.
Hold on, Andy. Yeah. We actually had an activity in between you doing the.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we want to keep it flowing. So, do you mind if we go back to? Okay, so let's. If you can stop sharing, and then I will reshare. And fun with technology again, right? So we have a fun thing to do here. Let me get back to Zoom and start sharing again. Okay, so we want to play a game of Kahoot. So hopefully you've played it before. If not, the easiest way to do it virtually, because it is a little more challenging when you do it in a virtual environment than face-to-face, is if you're, obviously probably most of you are watching this from your computer, and if you have a phone, it's easier just to log in from your phone to be able to play the game. But basically what we're going to do is, so if you can go ahead and get your phone, it's not an app, just pull up your browser and go to kahoot.it, not .com, so it's kahoot.it, and then I'll give you a game pin to enter when you get there. So if everybody wants to start getting into that web browser, whether it's on your phone preferably, and if not, on your computer, it just might be difficult to go back and forth and see the questions that are being presented as I present them, and then be able to get back to your answers and answer. Because if you've never played Kahoot, again, it's there's going to be, I think, 12 or 13 questions this initial one. We're going to do another one later, but this first one's going to be on just Salesforce basics, some fun stuff about Salesforce that we wanted to just do this. And then what we're going to do is the top 3 players, this is our first opportunity to give away certification vouchers. So the top 3 players that are going to be on the leaderboard, all 3 of those individuals are going to get a voucher for a free Salesforce certification. And if you don't mind, if whoever the 3 winners are, we'll try to track them as well internally. But if you could send me an email at my community group leader email address there, marc.lester@trailblazercgl.com, and I'll make sure that I send you that voucher code so you can redeem that and be ready to take your next exam or your first exam if it's your first one. So, is everybody at your Kahoot?
We just need the pin.
Okay. Pin is, so we're going to play. What is this?
Are you going to give me the pin?
Yeah, just a second. I'm getting to the...
Yeah, Mark.
Play the Kahoot. Okay. Technology at its finest. Okay.
Is it the mobile application?
You
Well,
can
no,
do it on
it's-
mobile, but it works in your browser too.
Oh, here we
You
go.
you don't have to use the application. You can just go in your browser.
And I'm going to make this even funner. I'm going to share my awesome sound on my computer. But not until we get a good bit in, so.
You like funner.
Here we go. You ready?
Okay, turn that off.
No, I'm not going to. You've had enough, Haley? It'll change, I think, as we go through the questions, right? I don't know what the limit is on Kahoot. I think it's 100 or 2 or something. Give everybody just a minute or two more to join before we get started to make sure everybody can get in. You like that? It's good music, right?
Right.
Some like, some don't like. Right, so how this will work, thank you, Kelly. So I'm waiting for everybody to join, and then I will start it. And on my shared screen will be the questions and the potential answers. And all you're going to see on your phone, let me turn the music off while I'm speaking.
The music, we can't hear you.
Oh, praise Jesus.
Is that better? How do I turn it off in my earphones, though? No, just kidding. So just to clarify, so Kelly, thank you for putting that in there. But how this works, if you've never played it before, is I'm going to be sharing the screen. I'm going to start it, and on my shared screen is going to be the question and 4 potential answers. And then on your phone, all you're going to see is 4 options that have colors and shapes, and you click the color and shape that matches what the answer that you think it is. And again, this is not only the winner is not only the person that gets as many as correct, but as quickly as possible. So you want to get that done if you want to be on the leaderboard at the end. So, all right. So I'm gonna turn. No, I'm not gonna turn my music back on. So okay, I'm gonna start. I think we're good. We have 45. Is there anybody send a quick chat within the next 10 seconds if you're still trying to get in and you want us to wait another 10 seconds? Otherwise, we'll get started. So.
Yeah, we have 45. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. Mm-hmm.
That's our biggest Kahoot ever, I think.
Mm. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. You guys ready? All right, let's start. Salesforce Basics, question number 1 of 13. Salesforce was founded in what year? Two seconds, one more person. Oh, there you go. You got it in. All right, 28 people got 1999. Yeah, so 28 people got that correct. Yeah, because they just celebrated 20 years, you know, in last year in 2019. So, so good job for everybody there. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. Pearl is on top with 932. And then Hussam, Chris, Romola, and Puneet. All right, good job. Let's see what happens here. Next question. What was the original name of the App Exchange? If you attended a Salesforce Lab session last year, you would know this.
Get your ass.
All right, Good job. 23 people knew that correctly. That it used to be originally was called the App Store, and Marc was friends with the folks at Apple, and they said, "Here, you can have this name, and I'll call my thing the App Exchange," which was pretty cool. So, so good job, everybody. Let's see what the leaderboard looks like now. Did it change? Ooh, Rich up on top. Haley not too far behind, and Steve on a bike. All right, Steve on bike. And Murph and Hussam, but we're switching it up pretty good. All right, let's go to the next question.
I think
Ready?
that's Steph on a bike.
Steph on a bike, even better. Okay, what is the name of this mascot?
Haley will get that one.
That's my favorite.
All right, 20 people knew that. That name is Appy, not Blaze. Blaze is the dog that was on the spring.
Blaze is a wolf. Thank you very
Is a
much.
wolf. Sorry, thank you.
Yeah.
Blaze is the wolf that was on the spring with the birdies flying
Yep.
around him. So, yep.
Co
All right,
is
let's
the
look at
dog.
Co is the dog. Thank
So
you.
is the dog. Yeah.
Rich hanging in there. Haley, Pearl back in. Okay, a little bit of a change, not too much though. Good job. And I should have mentioned too, just so you know, some of these questions were short and easy to look at and to determine an answer. So some of them are only 20 seconds and some are 30 seconds. So just be aware of that. There could be less time on some of these questions that you're seeing here. So, all right, you ready? Up 15 places down here too. Highest climber. Notice that. Cool. So question number 4. The first Dreamforce was held in what year? This is a little tougher. Five seconds. Ooh, that was all over the board. Yeah, that's a little harder for sure, but 2003 was the first year for Dreamforce. So good job for those 14 people that got that correct. Let's see what that did to the leaderboard. That might have shook it up. We'll see. Nope. Okay. All right. That's the same people. Awesome. Okay. You guys are rocking it. Up 12 places here for Omar. Good job. All right. You ready for the next question? How many people registered for that first Dreamforce?
That picture.
You like it?
Yeah.
5 seconds, y'all.
Can you get more trickier questions?
Ooh, they get harder later.
Yes, the next Kahoot will be a little trickier. This one's a little easier to start off. It's really about the speed, right? But good job. So 17 people got that correct. It was about 1,000 people compared to what they have nowadays. That's insane to think about what it's grown into in such a short period of time. But congratulations on 17 there. Let's see. A little move. Look at that. Manny's up. Meg, Samir, Puni, and Rich. Okay, good job. And Mega down here, it's the highest climber. Let's get to the next one. Question 6. Trailhead was introduced in what year? Zero, 1 second. Ooh. All right, 15 got it right. 2015 was the first year that Trailhead was introduced. So congratulations to those folks. See what that did to the leaderboard. Samir up on top now. All right, but not too far behind is Mig. All right, let's keep it going here. Taking up enough time here on it. What is the name of this Salesforce mascot? Another simple one. My favorite. Any developers on the call?
Cody, my Lego Cody right here. Oh, I gave it away. Sorry.
My teddy bear.
Hey, meet that guy.
Isn't that Teddy Ruxpin?
Okay, yeah, so most of you guys got that right. So that is Cody the bear, right? He does some coding. Very famous with the, popular with the developers for sure. So Leaderboard looks like Smear's on fire. And a little bit of change there too. Good job, you guys. Let's keep it going. Question 8, what is not a component of the 1-1-1 model? All right, 18 got that correct. 100% of fun, even though ultimately really it is fun. It's more than 1% fun when you give from a company's perspective, right? So what did it do to the leaderboard? Lewis jumped on top. Good job, and several others in there too. Good job. Very close. Look at these scores. Good Lord, it's going to be tight. Question 9: where was Salesforce founded? Think about William's background.
Africa.
Good job. That's right. San Francisco, where it's always been from the get-go and continues to be. And even though people tell them you need to have your Dreamforce in other places, he's like, no, thank you. So good job.
Maybe
A little bit of a change on the board. Good job. This is close. Oh, my Lord. Look at these the point differentials. All right. Next, number 10 of 13. How many acquisitions has Salesforce made? Approximately. All right, good job. 50 plus. I think actually the number is at 60 last I saw, but yeah, a little over 50 acquisitions they've made in their history. So they're not afraid to take on the best and take them for their own.
20
right?
plus isn't technically a wrong answer. Just kidding.
Right, it's true. Good point. Yeah. So good job. Minnie jumps on top on the lead there. Let's keep it moving. 3 more questions. What will Max the Mule help you build?
If you need a clue, look at his shirt.
All right, good job. Integrated solutions with the MuleSoft tool solution. So good job there. Leaderboard. Minnie stays on top, but good job for everybody else here. Keep it moving. 2 more questions. What is the stock name of Salesforce?
Never thought about this tough question.
CRM. They got the actual CRM as their name. You would think it's a SFDC, right? But it's CRM is what their name was. So see what that did. Samir on top, but everyone's still very close behind. And this is the last question. You guys ready to see who's going to win the 3 first certs for the day? How many people registered for Dreamforce last year in 2019? Awesome. Great job, everybody. 170,000 from about 1,000 in 2003 to 170,000 they've had the last couple of years. All right, let's see who's going to be the first winners for our certs here, our vouchers. 3rd place is Puneet. Good job. Congratulations, Puneet. 2nd place, Rich. Nice job, Rich. And 1st place, Samir. Congratulations. Good job, you guys. Runners up, Lewis and Minnie, good job. All right, I'm going to stop sharing now and let you get back to it, Andy, once I stop sharing. Okay, go for it.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot to mention, actually, we have some questions coming that are related to the presentation. The first couple of questions are warm-up questions, pretty easy. And starting with the admin topics, it gets a little bit trickier. Where is my share? Just a moment.
And while he's doing that, just a quick reminder for those 3 folks that just won, if you could send me an email, I'll make sure you get your cert voucher code. But congratulations, you guys.
Okay, admin sessions. There's a website for TrailheaDX, the sessions, and when you go on there, you can actually watch all these sessions. And the first one I'm going to tell you about is the low-code love from dynamic experiences to walkthroughs. Now, this session was about dynamic forms. As some of you already know, Salesforce just launched their dynamic forms functionality. It's in beta right now. And what this does is what we usually do inside Salesforce to be able to show some of the fields to some of the users, but not to others. We usually create page layouts and record types. We don't have the functionality to be able to pick and choose conditional visibility and so on inside Salesforce. Now, this is exactly what dynamic forms is going to do for us. We are now able to, on the Lightning platform, pick and choose the fields that we want to display to people. And it's not only based on a certain parameter only. You can do it based on user permissions, user profiles. You can do it based on pick list fields. You can do it based on the device that they are accessing the page with. And another functionality is the in-app guidance that they focused on in this presentation. We can provide now contextual in-app learning with guidance, and we are able to float and dock the message. We are able to show it to some people randomly or to all people. We can determine the frequency, and we can walk them through a couple of screens to be able to teach them a certain functionality. Now, I want to show you very quickly how the low-code love dynamic forms functionality looks like. Just a moment. Okay, can you see my screen? The Salesforce
Yes.
screen?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Okay,
yep.
good. Now, what we have on this platform is, now first of all, the way you activate this, you have to, because it's in beta, you have to go to your setup. And inside setup, go to record page settings. And on your record page settings, you are going to see that there's actually an on and off slider for dynamic forms and a couple of parameters that you can set on how you want to have the experience to work. Now, once you have done this, first and foremost, the most important thing right now is the dynamic forms functionality, even in beta, does not work for standard objects. You can only experience this on custom objects. So for this demonstration, I created a custom object called projects. And if you go to your projects page, and this is the standard Lightning page that we have for projects, and you say, I want to edit the page, you are going to get, once you click on the details view, you are going to get this dialog right here on your right side. do you want to upgrade to dynamic forms functionality? And if you say, yes, I want to do this, it's going to give you additional functionality on like picking fields, group of fields, and moving them around. Like now you can select the fields over here. You have actually on your left panel also a list of fields. You can move them around on your screen. You can put them to the right panel and left
Andy,
panel.
Andy,
Yes.
did you pause the sharing by chance? Because we see all projects.
I'm sorry. I must be sharing only one tab. Let me just, thanks for warning.
Well, now we see 4 tabs, but maybe just that window. Maybe just that window potentially.
Share the screen, probably.
Yeah.
Just a moment.
I warned you guys at the beginning of this.
Thank you.
As technology consultants, sometimes technology wins over us sometimes. So.
This is live.
Sure, Cody there again. There it is.
It's
Let
not
me just-
recording.
Let me just share the whole screen. Now, do you guys see it?
I got him
Yes.
as a piece of swag at
Mhm.
Okay.
So we do.
So
Can you make your screen larger?
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, just to tell you, I mean, what I couldn't show you before. Now, when I came to edit the page on my Lightning page, I clicked on this details panel. And on the right side, I got a little dialogue and a box saying, do you want to upgrade to dynamic forms? And I clicked on that one. Once I clicked on that one, I got this new view that shows me all the fields as a separate entity. And they are also grouped together. So now I'm able to add new fields, move fields around, and I can create new field groupings as well. Now, the cool thing about this one is once you go to a field, let's say you don't want everybody to see the project budget, right? So you can actually here choose whether you want this field to be read-only or required. And you can also add a filter based on, let's say, I want the user role to determine whether they can see this or not. So if the user role name equals CEO, then they should be able to see it. That's the one thing that I can do here. Once I do that, as you can see, I get a little icon that says, you know, some people only can see this one. I can also determine visibility based on a record field. So I have a stage on this one. So I can determine based on project stage whether this field is going to be visible or not. And another cool functionality is now we can have the quick actions appear based on project stage, for example. Like if you have project stage completed, then you want the user to be able to click on a button to send a survey out, for example. You can do that based on stage. So yeah, this is the new functionality, folks, for the dynamic forms. Now, with winter release, this is going to become GA for custom records only. So they have actually a roadmap. If you're interested in this, go ahead and review the roadmap. The standard objects is going to be included with Spring and so on. But this is coming, and this is going to be the next big thing you are going to probably want to be on once it becomes GA. Let's go back to the presentation. Okay, now a word about flows. As you know, Salesforce said several times, communicated several times that the future is going to be with flows.
Andy,
Yes.
I don't think you want to show us the notes. You want to
You
show
go
us
to,
the sign.
yeah. Go to display settings up at the top of this page and say switch to other screen or something like that. I think what you do maybe. Swap presenter view.
Do you see it?
Mhm.
Is,
Yeah.
is it good now?
Yeah.
I'm
Thank
sorry,
you.
folks. I mean, I'm having trouble with this presentation thing. I need to, I guess, practice this. So now about the flows. Salesforce communicated several times that the future is going to be with flows. Workflow rules are going to be always there, and process is going to be there, but they are going to keep building new functionality on top of flows. And with Summer 20, now we have the record triggered flow functionality. Now, before this release, we received the before save flow. Now the record triggered flow gives us the functionality to be able to launch a flow based on record update and record create. And we can do that before save or after save. Now we have also the functionality to do scheduled flows and flows triggered based on platform events. Now a good example for before save flow, this is a very, very efficient, fast update is if you wanted to update a pick list value, for example, based on a value that's updated on the record, you can do that now very efficiently before save. It's going to be very fast, close to an Apex trigger possibly, like the next best thing to Apex trigger. Before save flows are going to be fast and efficient for you. And another functionality that's very interesting, which I played with, is really nice, is the scheduled flows. Now, if you have, for example, a good application for that is if you have a certain pick list updated on the record, or a record type updated on the record based on a checkbox or something like that, and the values fall out of place, which happens sometimes, you can actually cycle through your records and then you can update those at night or once a week, and you can do some batch updates in limited numbers, obviously, with scheduled flows. Salesforce also launched new architect guides on which tool to use for automation. I highly recommend for you to check those tools. They are available and shared, and they are quick documents. You can go through several criteria for you to decide which tool to use, and it's also talking to the roadmap of the tools. And there is also one that focuses on dynamic forms as well. Now, the next topic is the reports, dynamic, the report update preview automatically functionality. Now, what happened with Lightning reports is that we got the ability to preview our report. Now, as we include additional fields in our report, we can see how it looks like on the report. But at the same time, apparently that brought some performance considerations. Like there are many people sharing on social media that they went back to classic reports. They don't really want to use Lightning reports because it feels slow for them. Now there have been a couple of changes that were rolled out for this. Now there is an update preview automatically slider that you can use. It comes unchecked. So as you add more fields, you are not going to get the automatic preview, which is faster than before. And now you're also able to double click fields to include them in your report instead of dragging them onto your report as columns. And now in beta for winter 21, we are going to also get the new fields are going to be automatically added to all associated report types. This wasn't happening before. Now, let's show this. I want to also show you briefly new functionality on reports. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
Can you make your screen bigger, please?
okay, sure. Let me just, does this help?
Yes, yes, thank you.
Okay. Now, some of the new functionality on these reports is going to be the summary level formulas and row level formulas. Now, this is very neat functionality. If you haven't played with this one, I highly recommend you play with it. Now, what you can do is you can create a row level formula. You can only create one for now, and it can include up to 5 fields that you can base your calculations on. Now, here I created a formula, for example, based on my project reports, where I'm saying if the project category is cost savings, I'm checking a pick list value on the report. And I'm saying that project anticipated savings minus the project budget divided by the number of project resources that are being used on the report is going to be displayed on this column. So what I get here is I have I need to add my number of resources so that you can see. As you can see here, like I mentioned, the update preview automatically slider is not on. So you would have to turn it on for the report to update. So for this particular project, I have 10 people working on the project, and I have an anticipated savings of $2 million, budget of $1 million, 2 minus $1 million divided by 10. So per resource, the savings, net savings is $100,000. You can actually include this in your report, which is pretty neat. And another functionality is the, and you add it right here, actually. You click on your columns right here, right next to your columns, and this is where you would add the summary formula and the row level formula. And the summary formula is going to be something like the total budget of your projects or the average anticipated savings for your projects. And this is going to be at the grouping level. This is also something that you can add to your reports. And if you wanted to do conditional formatting, you do that over here. You can assign colors to your report cells based on values. Okay, now is it correct now?
Looks good. Back
Yes.
to presentation. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, very quickly, I want to also touch on security announcement. Now, Salesforce announced, as you know, as people work more and more remote, security is going to be even a bigger concern. Just recently, Twitter had a big security breach based on social engineering. The hackers gained access to users' rights on the system, and then they started doing some weird stuff that harmed Twitter in the end. So now what Salesforce is introducing right now is a security command center. If you have multiple organizations, you can actually add the information on multiple organizations on one dashboard. What it is going to provide is things like how many people has access to modify all on the system, how many people are logging on based on simple login functionality, how many people are using two-factor authentication. And it also brings together the tools that they have announced earlier, like masking data when you're putting your data, customer client data on your sandbox. So this is also going to be part of this functionality. This is in beta right now. So if you're interested, I highly encourage for you to watch the announcement. And last but not least, we also watched the presentation on Service Cloud, and the recommendation on Service Cloud is that you as the administrator should create personas on your system, on your platform, where you would have personas, one persona for an expert agent, another one for case solver, for example, another one for team leader, and you would try to identify what kind of access they would need and they would require and design your system accordingly. Another recommendation was, of course, to create a council of, let's say, power users, agents, and listen to their pain points and recommendations to be able to shape your system so that it can be used efficiently and effectively. And one important point here is to use also the automation and AI that's available to you. For example, macros are very powerful tools for repeating tasks for agents. And you can also use Einstein and AI recommendation agents to service the customer in the best way. Well, thank you very much for listening to me. This is going to be all for the admin sessions.
Thank you, Andy.
All right, so thank you, Andy. Appreciate that. That was great. I mean, they shared a lot of great information, you know, from an admin perspective. Obviously, even though it was the old TrailheaDX is what it originally started out as developers, but definitely have expanded quite a bit on their content. So appreciate you presenting for both the main show and for the admin track as well. So thank you for that. Okay, so let me get back to sharing my screen again. While I'm doing that, if you have not already completed the survey that Kelly just linked in the chat, if you could please do that, because we have a few folks that are on that look like they've completed it, because our next activity is going to require folks to go into breakout rooms in Zoom. If you've never done that, I'll talk about that in just a second. But at first, if you guys can please make sure you fill out that survey, that'd be awesome. So. All right, so that was Andy, did admin session. Thank you very much. And then again, for breakout rooms, these are going to be, what we're going to do is we're going to utilize your responses from your survey. You either have your first or second choice of rooms. That we try to split it up so the groups are fairly evenly distributed, so people have opportunity to talk amongst themselves as much as possible. So I'll be opening up those rooms shortly in just a second, and hopefully it's actually the first time I've done it as a host, so hopefully everything will go as I would expect. But once I open all the rooms, you all should get a pop-up on your screen to say join, and you just join that room. And you'll have a leader in that room. One of the leaders they introduced themselves earlier will be leading each one of these 4 sessions that we'll be talking about. And it's simple, nothing major. We just want to create a fun, casual environment where you guys have a topic to talk about, whether it's binge watching, working from home, sports fanatics, or parental units. So just have fun talking to each other. We'll do that for about 15 minutes. And then when you're done, your group leader will put together a quick, put your names on the wheel of names, and we'll spin that wheel for each one of them. So there'll be a winner in each one of those 4 sessions. So 4 more cert vouchers we're getting ready to give away in just one moment. But again, if you have not already filled out that survey, if you could please do that, that'd be awesome. And I'm going to go ahead and open up the rooms now so you guys can get going. The majority of folks did respond, and I've already kind of assigned you to your rooms. And I'll look at the results coming in now, and if not, I'll just ask folks where they which room they prefer to go into, and we'll do that. So, okay. All right. Opening rooms now. Please tell me you all got an invitation to join said room, please. Hope you guys had an opportunity to get to know each other a little bit better. Hopefully somebody, we just had 4 winners in our group. Bill was the winner in our group, so congratulations to Bill. And anybody, so who won the other 3?
John Marks won in the parent unit group.
Nice.
We had
Good
really
job,
good
John.
odds at our group. one of 5. It was
Oh,
good.
there was only 5 in your group?
That was
Okay.
perfect. Their odds were in their favor.
Okay,
John won.
gotcha. People didn't want to talk about being a parent? What's that about?
We talked the
Come
whole
on.
time. We had a lot of fun. It was good.
Okay, good.
And in our group, the binge watching group, Charlie Funkhouse won.
Awesome. Congratulations, Charlie. Good job. Congrats.
All right. And in our group, I am so sorry. I'm completely going to mess up her name, so I'm going to put it right here in the chat. I'm so sorry. So,
Okay.
but
Katiana.
yeah. And it was fun. We had a good conversation about remote work. You know, we had some good ideas. So sorry you guys missed it.
Okay. All right.
And enjoyed
Goodness,
talking with
Like,
everybody.
lots of coffee.
Lots of coffee,
Yeah,
right?
lots of
Yes.
Yep.
and jammas, no non-video jamma time. All right, very good. Thank you guys. We appreciate you guys kind of humoring us with that. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And then again, let me share my screen, which would probably be just for a second though, but I'll just do it anyways. But again, for those that are the winners there, if you don't mind emailing me so that I can make sure I get you your cert voucher code. We're making a note of the winners as well, just in case we don't hear from you, we'll reach out. But please go ahead and send me an email so I can reply back and get you that certification voucher. Okay, so next is our developer session highlights, and I have Mike on here as the presenter, but obviously you're gonna hear somebody that's got a little closer to the topic for this one to present. So we appreciate Mike getting somebody to present for us.
In Colorado, and I have been a web developer for about 20 years, but 2 years ago I was hired by Salesforce, and specifically to help create what we really called then as like a web IDE, so a web-based IDE. And so like a lot of you guys, I've come in with a developer background, but I've had to learn what it's like to develop on Salesforce. And I've had to learn all the different languages, all the different tools. And so what's kind of interesting is Code Builder is really here to try to simplify some of the struggles that we all go through building on the platform. Let's see, next. Oh, now it thinks I'm annotating. Maybe that was good. Maybe I'll just keep being the one. I don't know. If
Yeah, take over annotation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah. So from what I've heard, this is my first Trailblazer meeting, and so it was cool to hear everybody kind of share different experiences and with different backgrounds. So here was kind of my Giphy adventure of my first year at Salesforce.
Oh, I love a good Giphy. Thank you.
I gotta stop. So hired at Salesforce.
Right.
So excited. Had previous coworkers that came to Salesforce, and they said it's a great place to work. So then learning on Trailhead. That's me trying to figure out what a scratch org is, Sandbox, Apex. Yes, and everybody here I'm sure can relate. And then we decided, we are going to we're going to eat our own dog food and build this on the platform. and that's me. So
that's awesome.
So like I said, it's been a 2-year journey. When I first came on to the project, we were kind of looking to see what was out there, because we knew we had all of these VS Code extensions that we'd already written, and everybody's using the VS Code, and we've got our CLI. We've just got a bunch of existing code that if we don't choose the right platform for a web-based IDE, we're going to have to reuse or change. And so we started looking out there in 2018 at what was available. At the time, we looked at like CodePen, GitPod, Code Sandbox, Thea, Coder.com, and there were several more. And so what we started with was Thea, because Thea, wait, I got to show, see, that's us looking. Thea was our first, is an open source IDE, and they announced support for the VS Code extensions, for all VS Code extensions. So we started working with Thea, and we built a prototype, and this was what we were actually going to come out on with Code Builder this year.
What was wrong with the Mavens, mate?
We wanted to do our own, and you'll see what I think what ends up is the best of all the worlds. So
I'm really excited for this, by the way. Thank you. This is awesome.
But with Thea, it wasn't VS Code, and everything that we had worked well in VS Code, and so there were some bumps and issues, and we were worried about long-term maintenance. So what happened then in 2019 is Microsoft announced that they were going to release Visual Studio Online, and since we all use VS Code and it's our official IDE, that made the most sense for us, and that way we could get parity between what people experience in VS Code and parity of what they're going to experience with Code Builder, and all of the code that we already have should work since it is the same product. And so that's how we ended up this year jumping on with Microsoft Code Spaces and building on top of that. And I don't know if most of you guys know yet, but like if you go to GitHub, they're integrating with Code Spaces too, so you can launch your GitHub programs from there. And I think the key for us is to build it the Salesforce version of Code Spaces. And also the team we're working with, Microsoft, is a great team. Oh, I've got to include my other gifts here. There's the Thea gift, and here's what happened this year. So nailed the landing so far. So here's the slide that was presented at TrailheaDX this year. I'm going to read the marketing stuff now. So introducing Code Builder, built from anywhere, anyway, with a web-based development environment. Deploy Salesforce optimized IDE in the browser. Fast web-based environment that supports all Salesforce languages and frameworks, LWC, Aura, Apex, Visual Force, boost productivity, run script, install custom tools, integrate with CI/CD. And it's a fast and consistent familiar experience, because if you're already used to using VS Code, which some of you as developers are, then this should feel right at home, since it'll be a very similar interface. I did want to say, I think I'm supposed to like mention the forward-thinking statement here.
So it was already mentioned.
I got you covered, right?
Yeah, right. And I do have to say that this product is, I'm super excited about being on this team and working on this product. Also, the fact that there hasn't been a lot of demoing of this, so you guys are some of the first people to see actual working in this product. So also wanted to mention this was highlighted. This is, so we're able to build something similar. I think people use Workbench to do something similar to this, to build out their queries visually. By using VS Code extensions, we're able to build a visual query builder that will run on VS Code and in Code Builder in a browser. And this is the artist rendering of what you've seen, this architecture, brilliant artist rendering, what the building's supposed to look like when it's done. And so we are working on this right now, but it doesn't look like this yet. Let me look at my notes. The other thing that is cool about working on this query builder is this is written in Lightning Web Components. and it is written in the open source off-platform Lightning Web Components framework. So we are eating our own dog food. So the next slide, I want it now, when, what, how. I've had some chats in the meeting on the side, people interested in getting their hands on it. So the current state of the project right now is it's in a closed pilot. So there's, I think, maybe like 20 customers that are going to get access to it. A few have already gotten access to it. And we're going to use that closed pilot to really drive what we concentrate on for the rest of the year, because we're shooting for beta around Dreamforce and GA next year. So the things that we're still working on before Dreamforce and before beta are the SOCL editor, which I showed. The extensions, there's a few extensions inconsistencies, and those are on our side. I think some of our extensions are expecting to have access to a browser, which you do when you're on a desktop, but when this is running in a browser, actually the code that's executing is in a container, so we've got to make some little tweaks to our extensions. We also want to make a tighter integration with the Salesforce org so that, everybody uses Dev Console, and that's a super tight integration. So we're trying to bring that kind of integration into Code Builder. So when you launch it, it's got all your code from your org right there and ready to go. Adding ease of use. Obviously, this is a developer-centric tool that we're trying to raise up to be a little bit more low-code user tool. And with that, we've got to develop training, and we got to develop some good onboarding. So those are the things we're working on right now, today, and a lot of that stuff we'll be working on for a long time. So last question I'm going to answer here is, how do I get it? It is being developed. Like I said, we're eating our own dog food using our own technology. So the portion of the tool that runs on the platform is being developed as a second generation package, and it's going to be installable. I'm not exactly privy to how it's going to get to everybody, but I think it's going to be included as a pre-installed package for you guys. And there will be some usage. These run on VMs, so each time you launch an environment, which I want to show you, it runs in a VM, and each license will have some usage of that VM. If there's a lot of usage, I think we're trying to figure out what that means, because that's a cost. A VM, running VM is a cost to us. So I think I'm not the person to answer those questions.
Drew, any word on Apex debugging? Anything about that?
Yep. Yes, we're supposed to have everything that works in VS Code should work in Code Builder.
Is this like operation debugger, as reads the debug logs after the fact?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
When I started working, we were working on developer, console. We were having trouble with the right to left.
Oh, yeah. For language?
Yeah, just values in language. How is it going? Is it going to be okay here, or?
That will mostly depend on VS Code. So the translation, the right to left language, localization will be provided through the VS Code framework. So I guess it would depend on what they have available.
Okay, thanks.
Let's see. So before we launch in, I'll give you kind of like an overview of what Code Builder is and what the product is. And I like this statement in red here. We use Code Builder to build Code Builder. So it's kind of like the Inception movie. And I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. But really, the second generation package that you're going to install, at least right now, it's called Workspace Manager. And it installs, and this is how you access your remote workspaces. And so if you can see Workspace Manager here, I've got 2 remote workspaces. So when you come in, you create new workspaces. I'll show you that. You launch them, and the concept is you're going to launch, and in a new browser window, you're getting a whole new IDE, web-based IDE. So it'll launch your workspace, and you click here, You can launch another workspace, so you can have workspaces related to what you're working on. You can also, treat it like your own desktop environment. You've got terminal. You can make folders. You can make multiple workspaces.
Compare text like IDE in.
Should you say that again?
Like comparing text. Well, like we had, comparing.
Yeah, like diffing
environments.
Diff, yes.
You can't diff across environments, I don't think.
No.
Unless you pushed, unless you push to your org and then pulled, you could do a diff there, as well as if you push to source control. So internally we use source control. So we do source-based development.
Mm-hmm.
So these are, as you can see, this is using all the tools and languages on Salesforce, Apex, Lightning Web Components, and Sockle. And then Code Builder, the extensions that run in VS Code are TypeScript. Docker is the environment that backs up these environments for us on the VMs, and the VS Code extensions running here. So I got to show the rest of the team because it's not just me. So I want to make sure everybody sees all the people that are trying to bring this product out. Okay, now here we're going to do live coding. Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to attempt to do some live coding. So the demo gremlins be kind. Let's see. All right, so here's what
live coding. That's brave.
Yeah. It's going to be great. It's going to work awesome. No. So this is the app we were talking about. This is Workspace Manager, and these are the two environments I just kind of showed you. So I can click these and launch them off, or you can come in, create a new workspace, and it will pop in there. So this is behind the scenes. This is firing up a new environment in a VM, and everything's going to be pre-installed. You'll have the right version of Java.
How much time will this have? Like Scratch.org is limited in time.
So these can live forever. If you need a new Scratch.org, you just create a new Scratch.org in them. So let me show you that. So this one's firing up right now. Right now, the provisioning time is between 30 and 60 seconds for each environment. And we're really working with Microsoft to bring that down. So we really want ultimately an instant environment like Dev Console, but you can see it's spinning up right here, so it's installing all the packages that are required to set up your environment to actually code. So I'll turn that one off, let that one stay provisioning. This is the one I made yesterday, so that one's running now, but this is the one I made yesterday, and I've got Code Builder in it. So let me launch that one. Oop. So here's a default environment, and you can see there's no code in it right now. What we're going to work on is pulling your org code in here if you're doing org-based development. So when you show up, everything will be filled out with your org code. We personally do source-based mount. So we commit to Git, and we pull out of Git, and we use Scratch orgs. So I've already kind of set up that. Open recent. So here's Workspace Manager. And so you can see the front end here looks a lot like VS Code. Since it really is VS Code, I typically use the black, the dark theme, or the Salesforce specific theme. But for demos, it's better to have.
Of course you do.
Oh yeah, that's like all the hip kids, right?
Yeah.
So you can see here, this is actually the project that builds this. And it's a Salesforce project. It's, a bunch of Apex and LWC. So I thought for goofing off for this, I'd push like a silly change up, and show you kind of like, so here's where the inception happens for us since we're building ourselves kind of. I'll just open the default org. So this is open in the Scratch org. And our app is installed here. So right now when I'm working on Workspace Manager, we don't actually spin up environments on the back end so they cost money. So I've got like a mocked back end right here that'll fire up these, but you can see that I thought I'd do something silly like change the name real fast just for, I don't want to do something too crazy on live coding in a demo, but let's pop in and here's the Workspace Manager header Lightning Web component. This is this guy right here. I didn't know how many of you guys are using Lightning Web components yet. Let's change this when I click it. So when I click that, let's see. So I got to go over here. Here's the JavaScript component that backs the HTML from our Lightning Web component. There we go. Handle header change. So I already written this, make sure it worked. But so now after this change, I'd push. So I'd save what I need to save. I didn't make any changes there. And then push code. Come back here. Theoretically, there you go, Trailblazer Meetup. So this is, and it's just silly, but it just shows you the workflow that we're using. We're using our own app to launch environments. So you can hear my son playing video games in the background. If you hear any yelling. So we use our app to launch environments, which we build our own app in. And we use all the same tools that you guys are using. And so it helps us understand what we're trying to improve on.
Very cool.
Yeah, any questions?
Looks great.
So if we're in a continuous integration environment,
mm-hmm.
and we have our master branch, we have our dev branch, we have whatever, bug fixes and all that sort of stuff. Would the workflow be we would create a branch in GitHub, and then come in here and open up based on that branch, make changes? Could other people then come in and QA our work in that branch, in that workspace?
Yes, let's do that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to add the change I made to JavaScript. I didn't actually do anything. So I'm in a branch. I am in branch Trailblazer. So I did just come in with this. Yeah. Funny header. Oh. I think I got to set this environment up.
Those will be in your environment hub settings for you, your registration.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I just made this brand new.
Yeah.
Oop. Trailblazer. All right, then I'd go to are, so this is right now we private. We have a private command. And you can see my change here. So I create a PR. There's my one silly change. So I'd create a PR from this. Other people could check out this branch and QA it. And then, you know, if it passes QA, then we merge it.
Okay.
Other questions? Anybody else using source-based development?
We want to, but we need the tools. And this is the tools.
Well, you can do this from VS Code too.
We can, but it's fine for developers, and they can use SFDX console commands all the time. But for the QA people or admins that are pushing changes and whatnot, it's not a useful workflow.
So what we can also do is as we push PRs, we've got CI linked up to then launch an environment that shows the change, so it can be QA'd. That takes a little more work in CI setup, but then each PR, yeah, can be QA'd by somebody that doesn't need to necessarily, know how to do any code.
Right. So our use case is not typical. We're an ISV, and we have a number of clients that use our App Exchange package. And so our environment hub will be pretty complicated, being that we have multiple orgs, parent orgs that we're mapping to, and all that sort of fun stuff. So just keep that in the back of your head as you do your development, because we definitely want to do either, to lessen the barriers to enterprise style coding with, team-based coding of QA, round tripping, and full-on agile development. So continuous integration is the end goal, but the baby steps in between would be a big help as well.
Okay. I think it's the end of it. If there's no other, the demo gremlins left me alone.
Yes, they got us early, but left you alone when you actually did the demo, right?
Yes. Yes, there definitely was a demo gremlin.
I'm completely excited about how good it looks with and how it's going to be very easy for me to move over to this new product. Certainly coming from VS Code and running up into this, so I'm excited about it. I can't wait to get my hands on it and start doing more stuff with it. So it's awesome.
I think our challenge is our challenge is going to make it trying to make it as instantly relevant as Dev Console. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That was awesome.
All right, yes. Thank you, Drew, for joining us and putting up with what you had to put up with at the beginning of your presentation and still kept on stride once you got going. So appreciate that. Thanks a lot, Drew.
It's a story to tell now.
There you go, right? And I have it recorded, as a matter of fact, if you ever want to a recording of inappropriate sketches of sorts.
You'll need to put a rated R on the beginning of the recording.
I do, don't I? You're right. I do need to. You're right. Good call. Because I have been uploading these on YouTube, so I'll make sure I note DTAC. Thank you, because there's an option to do that. So, all right. So, again, thank you. And we have lots of certs still to give away. So we have another Kahoot game later where we're going to give 3 away, but we actually even have 4 additional ones between all of our groups. So we're going to spin a wheel randomly and get 4 more winners in here. So Kelly, keep me honest. What's that?
Hello?
You got us, Minnie? All right, so Kelly, has anybody else joined late in the last few minutes? If not, I'm going to go ahead and spin the wheel and we'll get 4 more.
I was in the wheel last time because I was on the phone while you guys were spinning the wheel. Did you get me added?
Okay. Yeah, I think you're added. Let me.
Okay.
Here's the wheel. I think I got everybody's name that's still on the phone. Let me know if you have it in.
If I'm the only John, then it's okay.
You're the only John left that has not won a cert. There's a John Marks one, so that's awesome. So let me know if you don't see your name on this. For the most part, you're in alpha order.
I hope there's no wheel jacking.
No wheel jacking. It's true. It's not like, yeah, right. All right, so I'm going to, that's right. So I am going to, of course, I'm going to share my sound, my computer sound, so you can hear it spinning. I'm going to go, oh, wait, no, I want to go full screen, but that's okay. First winner is.
Gotta have the sound.
Did you get it?
We got the sound. Yeah.
Pearl is the first winner. Pearl Lee is our first winner. Nice. Good job. Congratulations, Pearl. We still have 3 more to go, and I'm going to try to make this thing full screen so it's a little more visually appealing. All right. Congratulations, Pearl Lee, for that win there.
Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. Cool. Cool. You guys all have to keep us up to date on your cert venture. So, all right. Next one. We have 3 more to do. Here we go. And our next winner is Nikki. Congratulations, Nikki. Awesome. All right, congrats for that one, Nikki. And I'll spin it again 2 more times. Awesome. Johnny. Congrats, Johnny. Awesome.
Actually, you might want to respin. I'm a Salesforce employee, so I don't know if I need it.
Oh, are you really? Oh.
Yeah. I'm on the team with Taylor, so somebody else should probably take that.
Thanks, Johnny.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. We appreciate that, Johnny.
Of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So we still have 2 more spins. That's good. So thank you.
So,
spin it again. 2 more to go.
Slightly used certificate voucher.
Oh, you're kidding. Woo! Deru, you're a Salesforce employee as well, right? Sorry.
Yes, respin.
This is like anticipation here, right?
Actually,
Everyone's like,
certification might be good for me, but no, give it to somebody else. I can get
okay. Gotcha. It almost landed on you-know-who, our perpetual winner in all of our group meetings, right?
No,
we'll see if you get it.
No, he
not gonna
needs to be
win.
excluded for the rest of the year.
not gonna win.
You have won too much stuff.
He's got 2 more chances here, right? And then Kahoot later. Let's see. 2 more times. Let's do this. Hopefully there's no more Salesforce employees
I have never
on this
seen
list.
anybody win so much stuff.
Right? Whoa, that was so close. Brandon. Nice, Brandon. Congratulations. Have to be on video so we can see your excitement. He's probably working or something right now. Congratulations, Brandon. Look, see, there it is. And Astra celebrating with him. Awesome. All right, one more time. Let's do this. All right.
Or not be William.
Better not. It's not. It's not near him.
Oh, I'm a Salesforce employee too.
Are you really?
Yeah.
That's funny. Awesome. We appreciate all you Salesforce employees joining our meetings. And I just realized, too, I have Paul in here. You're a Salesforce employee. No, right? Paul?
Yep. Yeah, I am.
We'll see if it lands on you. Let's just risk it. I have a feeling it will land on you, Paul.
They use cert certificates of Salesforce to light their cigarettes.
It almost landed right back on Paul. That's funny. Not a Salesforce employee, right?
No, thank you.
Awesome. Well, congratulations,
Thank you.
Parvati. Congrats on that one. Very good. All right, so we have we did 4 winners, right? I spun it way more than 4 times, and Kelly, hopefully you were tracking all those 4, right?
I got it.
Sweet. Awesome. Okay, so that's for the spinning. We do have one more presentation for you guys, and that's on the community and ecosystem session highlights. So who's going to present? Is it Kelly or is it Haley?
Kelly's gonna, I think, because she's going first.
Yep.
Okay, so all right, so I'm going to stop sharing. And congratulations to our winners. And while she's sharing, again, just a reminder, email me your email address, and I will get you your cert vouchers to use. So.
Okie doke. So we're going to talk through community and ecosystem sessions from TrailheaDX. So just wanted to kind of start this section for us. Just want to confirm real quick, just because of how Zoom is going. Can you see my screen? Are we good?
Yes.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I usually don't ask, but today I might ask. I just might ask
No scribble scrabble. No scribble scrabble.
just in case.
But you're in the edit mode, not the presenter
You should put it in
mode.
play mode,
Oh,
yeah.
see, I did put it. There we go. Let's change it. Let's change it up. All right, so I get the opportunity to talk through a little bit of Trailhead and thinking about kind of how we can skill up using the resources in the Salesforce ecosystem, how we can utilize some new features within Trailhead especially that can really help you wherever you are in your Salesforce journey. And so I know we are talking at the beginning of the meeting today. We have some brand new to Salesforce. So this is a great section for you to think about where you can start, and even for those that have been in for a while now, you can still kind of hear some new features that are available through Trailhead and the Trailhead community. So one thing I wanted to start off with, we had our binge watching section for the breakouts earlier, and just like Netflix will give you and Hulu will give you those recommendations, now Einstein's going to give you some recommendations too, and this is within Trailhead on Trailhead Go and in the desktop. Now you'll have the chance to get custom recommendations for kind of how to skill up in your learning. So based on the things that you've selected as different modules and trails, you'll get some recommendations from Einstein to help you navigate through the many options and opportunities for learning in Trailhead. One other thing that's new that they just launched in Trailhead Go is for those of you that like little extra notifications. I don't think there's any lack of those, but if you're someone that wants a daily reminder or daily prompt, you can set that up in your Trailhead Go app. And so if you go to your profile section on Trailhead Go in like the upper right corner and then drop down, you'll see a daily reminder section, and you can actually set it to the time that you want a reminder to help you on your Trailhead journey. So if you're kind of pushing to Ranger, maybe this is a good reminder each day to do maybe one badge a day. So, but you can use that daily reminders on the Trailhead Go app to help remind you to kind of develop that learning muscle within the app. And then other things too, there's new content that's being loaded weekly. And one thing that they just launched a few weeks ago was that Trailhead Live is now also available in the Trailhead Go app, as well as featured, on the Trailhead site. And so Marc mentioned it. You have different things like Trailblazer News. You have the Trailblazer Talk Show that are all available each week on Trailhead Live. Marc was featured a few weeks ago, and I think he gave a shout out to several of our community groups on that. So always stay tuned, and you can schedule reminders and add those to your calendars as well. So if you want to keep up to date on the news from Trailhead, that's a great opportunity as well. We also have those of you that are looking to kind of develop your resume and build your career and maybe, switch roles within the Salesforce ecosystem, just letting you know there's always chances to learn. So on Trailhead, they have resources for over 30 certifications and 18 super badges. So there's lots of resources as well that are for career planning. So for resume writing, how to ace your interview. So there's links to all these within the slides that will be shared. So that's a great way of, again, if you're looking to make a move within the Salesforce ecosystem, there's lots of resources to get you career ready on Trailhead as well. So one of the Salesforce's goal is 4.2 million new jobs by 2025, and they've certainly invested in Trailhead to be able to, again, help you build up those skills within the ecosystem. And also, if you're preparing for a cert, we have all those cert voucher winners. So I'm sure there's many certs we're all preparing for, but there's also training and kind of resources on Trailhead. So if you find and look into your certification by going through trailhead.salesforce.com/credentials, you can then see underneath all the different certification options, exam guides, and also different trails that can help you, and different modules that'll help you prepare for that exam. So that's also something to mention, and those are continuing to being added to. And then also for our developers in the group, there's the new JavaScript Developer 1 certification, and that has the certification and also the super badge involved. So definitely check out Trailhead to get more information on that path to that particular new certification that was announced at TrailheaDX. And we also have the opportunity to give back. And so this is a big piece of Trailhead and the Trailblazer community, and wanted to share 2 opportunities that you have to give back as a result of our time in the global gatherings today. But there's a trail mix on Trailhead, and we want to encourage you to use the hashtag Trailblazing together. But there's actually a quest that you can complete, and that's kind of a group. It's like a trail mix that you can complete to try to earn and win a prize. So there's different ones if you earn Ranger or complete a super badge during that month. But this one related to the super gathering, the global gathering.
Feels like a super gathering.
It feels like a super, yeah.
But it's not a super badge. It's a quest regarding the global gathering. You can earn a global gathering community badge, and you can earn a chance for one of 85 $50 gift cards. And that would allow you, it's a charitable gift card that you can give back to charity. So this is a great way. I think it's over $4,000 Salesforce is giving to charities through this global gatherings quest. So you have till the end of August 31st to complete the quest on Trailhead. And again, that will make you eligible for the global gatherings community badge, which will be given out in September, as well as get you in the running for one of those charitable gift cards. So check that out on Trailblazing Together. Of course, we'll share out the link on our platforms as well to share this information, but definitely would love for you to be involved, and maybe someone from Jacksonville can win. We can give that back again from one of our Jacksonville groups, or one of those that are here today. And one other way, I know Marc has done this, and I'm actually meeting with my mentor on Friday for the first time, but we have also want to share about the Trailblazer mentorship program. So you can sign up on Trailhead through this link here, but this is an opportunity also to give back. We rise by lifting each other up. And so this is something we as community leaders try to do. But also it's a chance for you, again, to get to know and help others as well. And so if you're new to the ecosystem, you can sign up as a mentee. I'm still fairly new, so that's what I signed up for. And then also you can also sign up as a mentor. And so it's a very structured program. So it's a month-long kind of 4-week guided structure program. So there's a lot of resources. It's not, just go, and there's a lot to support you, but would definitely encourage you to try to apply, and you'll get matched. I was matched with a fellow developer in Pakistan. So we're meeting on Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern time to try to meet. But it's really neat to get paired and to kind of learn and to mentor one another. So whether you're new or someone that's been here in the ecosystem for a while, would encourage you to take advantage of this opportunity through the Trailblazer mentorship program. All right, Haley, I'm turning it over to you.
All right, and I will let you keep doing the slides. Yeah, if you don't mind. Yeah, we'll just.
No, I'll keep going. You tell me when.
That way I don't have to reach. Yeah, okay. So hey, so I wanted to highlight a few things that really kind of jumped out in this same sort of like community area, but are some kind of cool new features. So if you go ahead and hit the slide. The first thing I really wanted to highlight is work.com. So for those of you who are OGs, maybe been around for a while, you remember work.com and its other incarnation. There was a product that Salesforce had called work.com. This is actually kind of a completely new iteration. It's not the same work.com that's back. And this is really kind of a response to the COVID situation. And it is not just one app. It's actually a bundle of different apps that you can pick and choose from, essentially, and put together in a sorry. That's good too. Yeah, no, it's totally fine. And put together essentially in a single view. And it does include some things in there. Like one of the major ones is there's a contract tracing little app. There's a wellness check. So like if you need to like survey employees when they're checking in, essentially it's a whole bunch of different resources that are essentially related to like a form of emergency management. And you can kind of bundle all these together into one executive dashboard. So you can definitely go check that out at work.com and see all of the different solutions. So it's not just one app, it's a whole bunch of apps. Now you can slide, which then go together essentially in this single view. So you can wind up with these, this one good consolidated view that's showing you all the issues that you particularly need to be concerned about, that's customized to the set of functions and apps that you chose. And go ahead and hit slide. So just a quick tips, some things that I noticed. I really do recommend this presentation because it really is a nice dive into all of this functionality. If this is something your company is looking at, you can just adopt slices of it or bigger pieces. But some of my tips and takeaways from it are, these are 100% features that you're going to need to think through a little bit from the privacy aspect. So when you start doing things like asking how people feel today, and are you running a fever, and have you seen a doctor recently, you're now starting to get into HIPAA information. So you want to be sure that you're thinking through that implementation and have a plan essentially. Probably already have a plan at your organization, but think about how this fits in essentially with your HIPAA policy. One thing that's a real big standout, and this just kind of slipped into the presentation really fast, is Salesforce actually recommends a separate org in order to do this instead of an integration into your existing org. Like, they actually recommend you buy another org essentially to do this. So that's something to think through if you're thinking through in terms of like your licensing and your stack and your spending and all of that. That's their recommendation essentially for security. Whatever features you choose though, however you decide to roll this out, this is a really good reminder that every business, no matter how big or how small, needs to have some sort of emergency strategy, some sort of a plan for these extreme times. And fitting in any app or any solution really is going to make the best sense within the context of a coherent strategy. So now is the time to maybe think through some of this stuff. So that's the new work.com. Work.com is back, sort of. Slide. And then the other thing that I really wanted to zero in on, and I'm not going to try to do a demo because I was a little scared by the whole tech situation in this virtual meeting, but if you haven't played with it yet, now is really a great time to start looking at in-app guidance. So essentially what in-app guidance is the ability to create prompts that happen inside of the app in order to like guide your users, give them instruction, and in some cases even present a video or give them a link to another document that they can look at. The other thing that's really nice about this is when you build these prompts, they're packageable, right? So you can also, there are elements that you can deploy as a part of the managed or unmanaged package. You can deploy them in change sets, so you can build them as a part of your app and then just deploy them or ship them with your app as well. And they also include some reporting and tracking. So you can actually see who's clicking on them, who's just dismissing them, who's actually clicking through on the link that you're putting in there. So it can also be a really nice benchmark for adoption of a particular feature. And they demo the full build essentially in this session, and so I really do recommend it. And honestly, it's a really simple thing to use, but I wanted to highlight essentially how it works by looking at a few screen grabs from the demo. So this is the panel in setup. So if you want to find it, it's in setup, and you search on in-app guidance. It's underneath user engagement. And what you're going to get is a panel that's going to list all of the in-app guidance prompts that you have in place right now, right? So you can't customize this list. There's no list view of this or anything. It's not like workflow rules. It's literally just like, here's a list of them. And they can be sorted by name and stuff like that, but you can't filter the list. So if you want to put a bunch of them, then you may have a bit of work essentially to kind of manage them all. But you can create them by clicking this little add button, and it's going to take you to the in-app guidance builder. And if you'll hit the slide, please, Kelly. Here's a look essentially at the in-app builder at one of the steps. So it takes you back into your environment. It leaves this blue bar up at the top that says in-app guidance builder, and you just navigate to the place where you want to put the prompt. So whatever that page is, if it's on your home page, if it's on an account detail page, if it's on the list view for contacts, wherever it is that you want this thing to be, when you're there, then you go ahead and create the in-app prompt. And it gives you some choices around, do you want this to be a docked or a floating? Do you want to add a link, right? You can customize the button. So on the docked ones have more character space. You can add a video, you can add links and have a button, and you can customize the call to action on the button. So you could have that button linked to whatever you want it to, right? So like if you've already customized your help menu and you have pages maybe on your company intranet, you can also link to those individual pages as well. So, and then you can actually see who's clicking on the links, and you can customize the text on the link. So you can have like little take me there or get me help or whatever if you want to. You can also schedule these. So you can say, I want this to show up every third day for the next like 3 months, show no more than 5 times, right? You can set up how many times people actually see it so that you can show it repeatedly if you want, but have spaces in between. And you can filter them based on profile or permission set. So if there's a particular function that only a certain profile does, only a certain permission set does, then you can say, show this in-app guidance prompt only to people in this profile, or don't show it to people with that profile, which I personally think is a really great feature. Go ahead and hit slide, please. So what are the takeaways? I mean, it's just another tool essentially to drive in-app guidance. I have used this a couple of times with orgs where I combined it with surveys. If you haven't played with Salesforce surveys yet, most of you guys know probably that you get a certain number of free surveys, and they're usually not enough to like actually do surveys of like your constituent base. That's usually a bit of a stretch, but you can do like a small number of them. They're often great for surveying your user base. So you could actually create, let's say you've developed a new function, whatever, and you want to announce this, and so you build an in-app guidance prompt. You could use the Salesforce survey link in the call to action link that's like, hey, here's this new feature, we just released this. And then you can have a survey link that says, tell me what you think. And the user can click on it and then immediately fill out a survey. They can store down their related contact record, all that good stuff. So it can be really good for like debuting a new feature, nudging people to use it, and then also getting that really good quality feedback on how that new feature went. This is also linked with or associated with the new walkthrough. So when you create a prompt, you can create a single instance of a prompt, right? Docked or floating, or you can create what's called a walkthrough. So that's a series of prompts where it's like click here, click here, click here, click here, and you're actually directing the user. Now, the walkthroughs are a paid feature that's a part of My Trailhead. So if your company has purchased My Trailhead, then you can create these walkthrough paths, apparently ad nauseum. You get as many of them as you want, right? You can use this feature set as a trial from in-app guidance for 30 days. So if you have a major release coming up, I've worked with a few clients where we're first debuting Salesforce and it's going to be like the first time users are on it, get your free trial. So the day that you roll that out, right, and you first have those users in there, if you build all of your walkthrough prompts and set all that stuff up, then you can start your free trial. You get 30 days of a little extra walkthrough help for all of your users. So once you start building the prompts, though, the clock starts running. And Kelly, if you go back actually one slide for me real quick, go back one more. You can see it in here in the middle of the screen there where it says like settings and start testing, 22 days left for walkthrough trial. As soon as you build that first walkthrough, that clock starts ticking. So don't fiddle with it if you think you might want to save your 30 days because you have a major release coming up and you want to use it in concert with that. Don't fiddle with it ahead of time. Don't start making your walkthroughs because once you make that first walkthrough and save it, the clock starts ticking. So you can, if you want to test or practice, do it in a sandbox, right? But once you put that first one out in production, then there's your 30 days. So save them and use them wisely and make good choices. So I think it's a really great technique. I use it a lot. I think it's always a really great little extra nudge. I've also used this where when I debuted a new feature, I maybe had a link to like a user testing script. So if somebody needed to like do some testing, give me some feedback, that's a really great way to use it too. So I totally recommend this session. She walks you through in great detail exactly how to create these in-app prompts and what different kinds of prompts you may want to use for what. Okay, slide. And I think now it's quiz time, Mark.
Okay, awesome, perfect. All right, so thank you for that, you guys. Appreciate it. I will say I love Trailhead Go. I use it all the time ever since they announced it. And I definitely used the reminder in June and July as I was working towards becoming a ranger, which I hit in July. So it definitely helped me stay on track on some days where I got too busy to really pay attention. That reminder definitely helps say, oh, let's just, like you said, just get 1 or 2 badges done. So, and then from Haley's presentation, I love the in-app guidance too, so much so that I did do some demo. I reluctantly did a quick demo on it on our last session. So if you want to check out our last recorded session, I did do a demo on that, as well as the session from TrailheaDX as well. So, okay, I'm going to share my screen.
I love in-app guidance.
Oh, it's great. Yeah. Yep. Sharing my screen now. All right. Their Kahoot game quiz. So if you guys can pull out your phone or if you want to do it on your computer as well, go ahead and go to kahoot.it, and I am going to hopefully a lot quicker grab the pen. Get your pen ready. All right, so this one is going to be about stuff that we presented on during this session. So hopefully those that are here have been here the entire session, so you heard, or you attended TrailheaDX at least if you were late. So you kind of have some relevance to what we're talking about here, and you can give good answers. So, but let me hold on. Give me 2 seconds. Everyone ready for that pen? Waiting patiently. All right. Okay, never mind. All right, let's play this game. Presenting.
What is the pin?
The pin is ready to join. Here we go. This.
What is the pin?
Here we go. All right, so yeah, everyone got that 972420. Somebody can throw that in chat too, just so in case somebody.
Yeah.
All right. So Badar brings up a good point. We definitely want everybody to join in this game, but we would like to make sure that everyone that hasn't won gets an opportunity to win. So if maybe those that have won a cert already play the game, but maybe don't be really fast at answering. Maybe that's a good way of saying that. So, all right. So we have 27 folks. A few more. Anybody else want to join? Okay. Yes, Pearl, please play the game. We want everybody to have fun. Just be slow with your answers if you've won already. So, yes, we got pretty creative with this. So it should be some fun questions and answers. All right, so we got 29. I think we're ready to start. So I'm going to go ahead and start here. All right, we ready? First question is, what is Salesforce Customer 360? No one-word answers here. A couple of them are, but most of them are not. So you'll have to read. Good. You guys are knocking it down. I like it. You guys are missing out on this awesome music. I can't believe it. Boom, 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 boom. All right, good job, everybody. A single source of truth for your customers with Salesforce Customer 360 is. All right, a lot of people got that correct. And at the top is Nick, Abbas, Badar, Jax Rick, and Akshay. All right, good job. All right, so we have 13 questions here too, so we'll keep it moving so we can get done. Still, we'll run a little late, so I won't be as quite as comical. For equality, understanding the impact of unconscious bias is important. What is bias?
Pop in.
Seconds. All right, good job, everybody. The answer was prejudice in favor or against one thing, person, or group. And if you paid attention, the answer to every other one was base and not bias. So thank you for participating, but good job. And let's see who's on the top. Ooh, little mix up there. All right. Uh-oh, got some good. All right, moving on up next. Question 3, what are platform building blocks? Okay, 17 got that one correct. Good job. Allows you to leverage the latest technologies customized for your needs. See what, oh, little change up. Oh, Pearl, you're on top. How'd that happen?
Oh, wow. Oh, really?
Be slow, Pearl, when you're in it.
I was. It's only
I'm just kidding. You're fine, Pearl.
Twice.
You're fine. It's good. It's okay. Keep playing. All right, next question. What is not planned for the GA functionality of dynamic forms? You're missing out, I'm telling you. 5 seconds. All right, this was a little tougher. Got a little tough, but it was conditional default values of pick lists is the not planned for GA functionality. So good job, everybody. See what that did to the board.
Because that will never come.
That will never come, right?
Yeah.
All right, next question. What is Salesforce Anywhere? Somebody say red or blue. All right, good job, everybody. All right, 24 got that right. Let's see what that did. Okay, just a little bit of a shake up. All right, next question is, you guys were paying attention. Good job, I like it. How do you create a before save flow from our flow king? Read closely.
Oh, there's some funny stuff in there. 2 seconds. All right, good job. 13 got that correct. Create a record triggered flow and double click the start element, not double click the setup cog if it's visible. Reference to the Chrome 84 issue that's making all of our things disappear like magic. All right, let's see what that does to the top. Okay, all right, a little bit of a shift. Okay, all right. Question number 7, what is a good service agent productivity tool for repetitive task? Please don't say sticky notes.
Pigeon.
They're so fun.
Not as a good service agent productivity tool then. Macros, if you don't use macros, I tell every client I work with, you should be using macros because it will save you so much time. So if you don't know about them, learn them. So good job, 21 people. A little bit of a change, and Mike B is on fire. All right, answer streak. Next question. What is not a good persona when creating a service application? All right, good job. 22 people got that right. Boss, boss doesn't need a service app. They need to use a service application, so a service app. Very good. What did that do? Pearl's on fire. Okay, next question. What is true about row-level formulas? Five seconds. What is true about row-level formulas? One can be created using 5 fields. That was a little tricky. That was a tricky one. So good job, though. Most of you got it right. Oh, goodness. Okay, here we go. Okay. A little shake up. 10th question, what is work.com? And pay attention.
I'm not too sure about this one.
It's tricky. Well, this is probably the trickiest. This is probably the trickiest. So actually, none of these. I mean, the second one certainly sounds correct, but not totally. So.
That's Who got none of these? That's smart. This might be the only one I got wrong.
This was like an exam level question here, I think, right? It was one thing that was not quite right. So. All right, good job there. There's not much of a shakeup though, because that was a tricky one. When reviewing security, which one is not important? And I know we're a little bit past 5 o'clock right now, so I appreciate everybody sticking around to finish this out. We want to give away these certs, and I'll do some real quick closing after this. Closing slides. All right, good job. How many times using login per day? That's not important for the reviewing security. So good job. Most of you got that.
Really?
A little bit of a mix up there. Well, compared to the other 3, right? So.
Yeah. But that could be like a hack.
It could lead to some things. Okay, so how many days is the initial free trial of the walkthrough feature of in-app guidance? And that's actually what I demoed last month. If you want to check that out.
I thought in-app guidance was going to be free. So is it just the walkthrough feature that is paid, or is the whole thing paid?
Correct. Yeah. No. The prompt, the one-time prompts are free. If you want to use this walkthrough feature, which is multiple prompts altogether, that is what you have to have my Trailhead licenses to do, right? As of now. So, all right. But good job. So it's 30 days is the free trial period if you did want to take advantage of it to see if it works for your company. All right. A little bit of a shake-up there. And then our last question is, as of the time of TrailheaDX, how many super badges are available to complete on Trailhead?
That's a hard one.
If you paid attention to the presentation, maybe not.
Ooh.
Right? If people were...
Salty.
No, it's not salty. I'm just saying, you know.
I was thinking the same thing.
It was just mentioned like 20 minutes ago. So good job. Majority of you guys got it. So good job. So let's just see what this did here. All right, the podium says third place, Deepak. Nice, good job, Deepak. Second place, Pearl. All right, good job. And first
We're supposed
place.
to win, Pearl.
That's okay. That's okay. The best. All right, good
Just
job.
want to be the guys.
That's right. You right. You almost beat every single one of us. Yeah.
So runners up was Marc.
So
Right.
we have to give this to the fourth place. No?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, the fourth place will show up here, won't it?
It said Marc.
Can't give it to me. Already got one.
Oh, you
I
already
think
won?
it said Nick
Right.
after that, maybe. NIK. Is there an NIK?
Where does it show? Oh, wait. Does it show next?
It
Is that what
showed it. It showed it.
Back to podium. It showed it.
Yeah, like pops up for a split second after.
I thought it showed it and kept it down there at the bottom, but
I know if you're the Kahoot owner, Mark, you can pull up all the results and the statistics.
oh,
So
I can. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, there it is.
perfect.
So that's you, Murph, and Nick. Nick is 5th place. Nick is the other winner. How's that? NIK, Nick.
okay, I got him.
All right.
Mark, we're good.
Awesome. All right, good job, you guys. Appreciate you guys sticking through there. So just to kind of finish up, again, we're a little bit past our time, but just wanted to give you some quick community group updates and just some closing remarks real quick. Kelly already touched on it. Here's a link, and I think it was on one of her pages. I always like to make sure people are aware that these trailhead quests, there's a lot of different ones. A lot of people win. We've had several people locally in our group. That's one, so definitely continue to do those. Join the movement. Pledge 1% if your company that you work for is not a part of the Pledge 1% movement. Please talk to your people. There's a link on here to kind of get more information if you want to have that to kind of present to your company to make sure. And a lot of companies, a lot of times already participate in this, but it's just a matter of, getting it on the books with Salesforce just so you can get that recognition for doing that. Upcoming events. From an admin group perspective, I'm planning on doing one September 17th tentatively. Once I confirm that, I'll obviously create an event for it, so look for that. The next Salesforce Saturday is when? Do you have a date yet, Andy, for that one?
We don't have a date yet, but could be 21st or the week after.
Okay, coming up soon, next week or two.
We start at 10:30 usually in the morning. 10:30.
Oh, 10:30 to 12:30. I'm sorry, you're right. I apologize. Yep. Good. Thank you for pointing that out. And then nonprofit group, you guys have a quarterly virtual meeting coming up. Still to be determined though from a date perspective, correct?
Yeah, we haven't set the firm date, but if you join our group on the Trailblazer community, right, you'll get an announcement whenever we do publish it. I think we were just kind of waiting to see how some dates shook out with COVID things, but I think we'll probably set it really soon.
Okay. And then Mike, from a developer group, do you have any plans or nothing tentative right now, or nothing definitive, I should mean?
It's a question mark. I'm not really sure.
That's a lot of TBDs and question marks. There's a lot of TBDs and question marks on this slide.
It's the new normal.
Right, exactly. We'll figure it out. But the last thing we did want to talk about, it's not necessarily our group events, but there's a virtual event going on this year. It's usually in person, but again, like everything else, it's a virtual event called the Tech Coast Conference here locally in Jacksonville. Our chamber hosts it, and they do a great job, and it's 2 days of great content. I think, Kelly, you're somebody from your organization. It's one of the main speakers.
Actually, I can tell you a little bit more about it.
Go for it.
So if you email Sandy at Ivy Tech or Mike at Ivy Tech, we can get you guys a discount code for $5 off. We got to do that by Monday of next week. We got, there's over $1,000 worth of cash prizes that they're going to be giving away. And 2 really incredible speakers. Of course, there's going to be a lot of incredible speakers, but we have the CIO of Zoom, who will be heading up yeah. So he'll be heading up the main event, and then we also have Sammy Leho, who is head of the Windows OS and securities team. So that's some pretty exciting speakers coming to that. And you can find the schedule at techcoastconference.com.
Yeah, and I've linked it here, so if anybody doesn't want to go fumbling around and make sure they get the right one, and when we share, I'll share this on the admin group event page, and you guys can do it as well on the other ones, but you can go to and get it here. And then the only other thing is, it's not an upcoming one, it's a previous one we mentioned before, but last week, Kelly was one of the 2 highlighted Trailblazers on the Trailblazer talk show last week, and I linked it here, so in case somebody does want to take a look at that, you're welcome to do so. Great job, Kelly, for hyping up our Jacksonville group. Maybe that's why we have so many attendees, because everyone saw you on that show, so good job. And then also, get out there on social media. These are all of our Twitter accounts. The first one on the left is the Jacksonville Admin group. The one in the middle is the nonprofit group. And the one on the right is our Jacksonville Salesforce Saturday group. So don't forget the hashtag Trailblazing Together. That's what the folks at Salesforce want us all to hashtag, so they can easily identify people that are participating in these TrailheaDX global gathering events. So don't be afraid to do that. Welcome anything out there. And then finally, just thank you again for everybody for joining, sticking in a little late, working through a hacker issue and everything else. So thank you for the rest of the group leaders for presenting as well as so thank you guys for doing that. Appreciate it. And then we'll get back with you guys on any further events. So thank you for joining. Is there any, we didn't really leave room for a lot of questions.
Just a comment, if any nonprofits need volunteers, I told I'm a mentor and my mentees are needing practice. So if any nonprofits need volunteers with someone with hands-on that have experience but need jobs and need something for their resume, so you could ping me through Marc.
That's awesome. Appreciate that, Minnie. Thanks for pointing that out to me. There's a lot of folks out there in that situation that are trying to get some real live experience. So again, I definitely echo that. If there's anybody out there that would be able to take on somebody that's nonprofit pro bono perspective, certainly please do that, so people can get some great experience. So thank you, Minnie. Any other comments or questions?
Thank you so much. This is great.
Awesome. Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Hope you guys have a good rest of your evening here, and we will hopefully see you guys at the next event.
Thanks.